Hello, Aries. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards for you, one from Lay Vampire and one from Chakra Wisdom. And what you pulled here worries me a little bit. So from Lay Vampire, you pulled Thirst, Craving, Compulsion, and Obsession. This card actually speaks about needing to really look at what it is that you're chasing after here. So, if you're thirsting for something, whether it's a person or knowledge or some kind of fulfillment in your life, you need to ask yourself, where is your desire really taking you? And make sure that you pay attention to that inner voice when it tells you if something is harmful for you. And then on top of that, you pulled Balance from Chakra Wisdom, which speaks about running after something may chase it away. It also speaks about compulsive behavior and chasing illusions. So I worry here with these two that some of you may be wanting something so bad right now, but it's just not the right thing for you to be going after. So just be careful about what it is that you're chasing right now. Okay, Aries. Here's the energy coming through. Oh my goodness. Aries, Aries, Aries. Justice. Justice is all about having past wrongs amended. This is where you need to make amends for your past. And then with Judgment and the two Oracle cards, I cannot help but worry here because Aries, you are so important to the rest of us because you remind us to have that passion and that fire and that drive for life and to live in the moment. But I worry that your adventures may be leading you somewhere that may not be worthy of you. It may not be something that's good enough for you. And clearly there is a need to look at the past and make amends for it before you go chasing after something new. And in the past, so, it would make sense that there is this need to go after something because, with the Ace of Wands, there's that fire and that passion. The aces are always about good opportunities coming through, but when you look at the wand suit, this is where the action starts to take place. This is where all our fire and our passion lies. And here's this opportunity coming through. And, I feel like looking at this and with what fell out and now Justice being the signifier, you really need to find some balance in your life for sure. And I feel like it has to do with the past, especially with all three of these cards falling out, or these two falling out, and then this one being pulled. It's like you need to be careful. You really need to be careful about what it is that you're chasing after. Because, again, clearly there's this need for balance. And then on top of that, balance with your past. And then, oh, wow. So, in the present, the Four Swords. The Four Swords is about taking a break. This card is literally telling you to put up your swords and take a minute to meditate and reflect on your past actions. This seems to be an ongoing theme here. So right now there's like no action being taken. Where there is this need to make amends for the past and make amends for the wrongs that you may have done or others may have done to you. There's no action being done. And then with that sitting under the Ace of Wands, it's like, here's this opportunity, but you're not doing anything about it. But yet you're wanting something. You're wanting something really badly. But you're just not doing it. Future conditions. And then you turn around and you start to take action. Wow. What a jump. So, I'm hopeful that because of Judgment and Justice that, you will do what you need to do to take a second look at your past and be okay with it and be okay with going after this opportunity that's coming through here. You know, on the positive side of thirst, right, it talks about, you know, learning more about yourself. How far are you willing to go to get to what you want? And asking that question now and looking at your future conditions with the Two of Wands, that's perfect. So the Two of Wands, this actually connects back to the Magician. The Magician has to do with the aces, but this is where you start to see the action taking place toward what it is that you're wanting to create. And seeing that there is really good. So you have that opportunity, and you're still pulling that fire and the passion and the drive, and you make a total turnaround. So right now, if you feel like nothing's being done, clearly you're going to start to take action here. The best path to follow, the Page of Cups. Now, seeing that, it makes me wonder if what you may be going after right now may have to do with a person. The Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is the messenger of love, romance, and creativity. And as the best path to follow, when you look at the Page of Cups, this is somebody who is very imaginative and very lighthearted. This is an opportunity for you here, especially with these two, to do something of a creative nature. You know, and again, it's like this is something that you really want. You really want to have this. But, you know, again, with balance, it's like, and it's doubled here. I mean, wow, you guys really need to do what you need to do to get that balance in your life, especially in regards to looking at your past. You need to be okay with your past. Do what you can to amend whatever wrongs you may have done, and trust that whatever wrongs that have been done to you will be balanced. But here with the Page of Cups being your best path to follow, it's telling you to be open to creativity. Be lighthearted. Oh, and in your environment, the Seven of Swords usually has to do with theft and underhanded business dealings and just nastiness. Now, seeing this to me makes me feel like there was a need to leave something behind. And now you're feeling like you need to protect what it is that is important to you. And with this going on in your environment, and then this no action being taken, it's like right now, I can imagine how you guys must feel. Like you're wanting something so badly, but you can't do it. Something is stopping you from doing it here, where you're just no action at all. And then in your environment on top of all of that is saying that something had to be left behind. My goodness, Aries. Your hopes and your fears. And, you know, as much as there's this contrast going on here, it's really good to see these. I mean, look at it. 1, 2, and 3. So the Three of Wands and your hopes and your fears. The Three of Wands is like watching the proverbial ship come in. This is the travel card. But it's about watching what you have worked for manifest in your life. And to see that is good because, again, there's that fire and that passion and that drive to go after what you want. But, you know, something's happening, and I feel like it's like right now. Right now, there's something happening where there's this need for justice. There's this need for judgment, which, you know, is making sure that you look at your past with joy. And there's this feeling of losing something and needing to protect what you have. And then with the Page of Cups there, it's like saying it's okay, be lighthearted. You know, when you go into going after what you want here, because clearly you want it really badly, you know, don't do it with any kind of lingering negativity. You can't do that because it will block you from what you're trying to get, which I really strongly feel is the reason why justice and balance are there. You got to get some balance in your life before you can truly go after this here. Because again, you know, it speaks about, on the positive side, seeing how far you're willing to go. And when you ask that question again, and you see these, it's like, yeah, you're going to do the right thing. You're doing it the right way, and you're taking that action, and you're going to see it manifest. But you got to get some balance in your life. And you need to be okay with the past before you can start to really, truly go after the opportunity that's still coming through. I mean, clearly you're like, yes. But right now, I got to deal with this first. And the outcome. Oh, I like seeing that. I love seeing that. So, the Knight of Pentacles as the outcome. This is beautiful. This to me is saying that you are going to receive good news and you are going to have more in your life. The Knight of Pentacles is the messenger of putting in some hard work. He is looking to see what he can do to make more. What can I do to make more of this? And I feel like you are going to do what you need to do to create more in your life. But if you're having some difficulties in the now, it would make sense that you're at a standstill, which is no good for Aries. You guys need to move. You need to go. You need to experience. But it's understandable with that Seven of Swords sitting in your environment. If you feel like you've had to leave something behind, or if you feel like something's been taken from you, why would you want to do anything if what you're going to go after is only going to create this feeling of loss and having to leave it behind? But truly, you're going to overcome this for sure. And again, with the Page sitting here, it's like, be lighthearted, you know? Let the past be the past. Open yourself up to new creative possibilities in your life. Because clearly that Knight of Pentacles is saying, yeah, we are going to create some more in our life. But, you know, again, here, just please, 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 because looking at this, I mean, the scales, you know, there is a need for balance. You need to figure out what it is that you truly want. What is it that you're really thirsting for? What is it that you want to experience? And when you decide what it is that you want, you're definitely going to have it here. But first, you need to make sure that it is worthy of you. And, you know, and I talked about this too. When you start to go after the things that you want, the things that you truly want, you need to pay attention to the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the beliefs that you have behind it before you go after it. Because you want to make sure that you get rid of anything that may be limiting you or holding you back from receiving the things that you truly want. You're going to have to put in some work here. With the Aces and that Knight coming out, yeah, there's some work that needs to be done. But with that Three of Wands sitting there, that tells me that you are going to see what you want manifest. Just do what you need to do to get balance in your life. Be okay with past events. Make amends for your wrongs. And make sure that you pay attention to what it is that you truly want here. I really like the way that this one turned out, because this could have gone totally different than where it started. Considering what you pulled here with the Oracle cards, I feel like there's something here that you want to go after really badly. And the opportunity is definitely coming through, but for some reason right now, in the present, there is no action being taken. And it would make sense with this being in your environment. If you feel like you've lost something and you're needing to protect what you have left, of course you wouldn't want to take action to go after something new. You're still dealing with the loss here. But I feel like you guys turn this around really quickly. You go from no action to taking action and then seeing the manifestation. And I mean, 1, 2, 3. The way that this showed up is absolutely beautiful. It says to me that you are going to see the manifestations of the things that you truly want in your life. And then to have this Knight pull out on top is saying that not only are you going to see what you want, you're going to have some good news coming to you as well about creating even more in your life. You're going to have to put in some work here. But you're definitely working towards seeing something different in your life. The only thing that worries me is seeing justice and the way that judgment fell out. And then seeing this as well, it could suggest a judgment in your favor regarding some theft here. I don't know. I kind of worry about that. But I feel like with the two that fell out, or with this one and then judgment, these two together really speaks about creating balance in your life, being okay with your past. And again, it's like balance is doubled here. There's definitely a need to get some balance in your life, make amends for whatever wrongs you've done. Know that whatever wrongs that are done to you are going to be corrected for sure with judgment falling out. And again, with thirst, it's not all bad, but you need to be careful where your desires are taking you and make sure that where you're headed is truly worthy of you.